Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we visit a memorial to those who serve. We are grateful. I also prepare curried potato salad. It's easy and different. But first, an oasis in Fosterville, the Youngstown Botanical Gardens. Well, this is Eric Jones, and he and his father, Ronnie, started the Youngstown Botanical Garden. And if you've driven down Indianola Road, you have seen the gorgeous gardens. And they're also taking over this building, which was a doctor's office. It's been a few things, but you've got it down to the bone.
Yes.
And you have big plans for this place.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're seeing more of like a community center.
Correct. This here will be where we use, like for instance, we're standing in the red room, okay? And the red room, okay? So you have to picture it red. But this room will be used like other rooms to facilitate parties, birthday parties, activities that we host.
Why are you and your dad, what was the impetus that made this all happen?
I started as a caseworker, and this was one of the places I would come before we did anything breaking ground, and I would come here just kind of on my lunch break. As a social worker, so I just kind of came here to decompress, and I looked and saw the opportunity for the land. We didn't actually own the land at the time, but we started acquiring the lots, and we said, here is where we want to build this wonderful garden, and it's really for anyone to use, young or old. There's so many different therapeutic benefits to just walking around and seeing the flowers and engaging in nature. It's amazing. When we started acquiring the lots, that was right around the time that my children were getting older, and it really, when I think about a place for them to thrive, and for them to have to run around, and we don't have to go far from home. We live close by. It's just this was like the perfect place for them to really come out and just be a kid.
Have they taken to the gardening? Do they have a green thumb?
Absolutely. Both boys, I've had them out, and I've had both of them. They had their own shovels and tools and things like that, and they've tossed their share of dirt around. But it's pretty remarkable to see your kids just having a childhood and just running around, and I just pictured them and their friends, and just to have that and just family. And this kind of gives you.
So this is the bird's eye view,
right,
of the entire botanical garden.
Right.
How large is this plot? What is this, about 2 acres?
This is just a little under an acre.
So, but the ground cover, I mean, this is beautiful. Your ivy and that, I mean, isn't that more what you want?
Right.
Instead of mulch and stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
That would be
ideal.
A more ideal thing.
Right.
Is that hard to grow?
No, that isn't. And it's just, that started with a few plants. I believe that we may have purchased a flat of ivy, and that's what we may do, purchase a flat, put it in a location, and just let it run
nicely. Look
Absolutely.
at how it goes up the tree. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is a very peaceful area to sit.
And this is all your time.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of, when I told my son, I said, this is his little think space, and he comes out and he sits here. This is
all time.
That's all time. So if you stand over in that section there where the tulips are, oh yeah, it's very fragrant.
I love time.
Oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
So I told him, I said, this here,
look at it,
is where you come out and you picture your goals. Because if you picture your goals and you stand in this spot here, what are you doing? You're looking out over time.
How many people do you get just randomly stopping and enjoying this?
Oh,
Gosh, it must happen every day when you're out here.
We get quite a bit, and it really takes place. But it's really a blessing. I'll stop, and because they actually took the time to stop. I mean, we've had so many people that have stopped by, and they have all been a blessing. They've all added that positive energy, that positive seed, that positive just watering. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Cultivate, seed, water, weed.
And then you've recently gotten your 501c3 status.
Correct.
So that is huge.
That's
you know, because of the education and because of everything that you're going to be providing.
Right.
I mean, I can see that, you know, you definitely have earned, you know, the nonprofit status.
Well, it's one of the missions for the outside, which was actually when we were inside and we talked about the cultivating, the seeding and the water weeding. Outside here, we look at it, we approach it from educate, motivate, congratulate, and celebrate. So in that, right, I got all these fours.
Boy, I've got to tell you, you have really thought of everything. Now, Ronnie Jones is Eric's dad, and Eric created this oasis, but you are also the chef. I mean, what have we got here? Look at this spread.
All right. We got some shish kebabs.
Yeah.
Which is just peppers and onions and like 3 or 4 different peppers.
Yeah.
Red onions, white onions, chicken steak, and
then you did
scallops.
the lambs. Oh my God.
Chicken steak and scallops, and then we did some lamb burgers. I think there's some burgers.
Wow. Who else is coming?
Just us.
So,
and we got a salad.
Oh man. Well, Bill, you better put on the feedback, dude. Get ready to eat.
We'll be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard, For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Righetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
They fell in love with Benjamin Moore's Van Dusen Blue, but tried to match it using another brand's paint.
It'll grow on us, right?
Yeah.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Today you are going to get 2 dishes out of me. That's right. The common ingredient is curry. I'm going to make curried potato salad and a curry marinade. For this recipe, you'll need 2 or 3 pounds of yellow or Yukon Gold potatoes, 1/4 cup of tahini, 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt plain, the juice and zest from 1 lemon, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground pepper, 1 tablespoon of fresh grated ginger, 1 cup of peas, fresh or frozen, 4 green onions sliced thin, the green and white parts, 3 ribs of celery sliced thin, and 1/2 cup of fresh chopped cilantro. Well, I already sliced and boiled the potatoes. All I did was scrub them. I don't mind the jacket or, the skin at all. And I cut them into bite-sized pieces, and I do that before I add them to the water, because then you only need a 5 to 10 minute boil time. Make sure you really salt the water well. I drained them, rinsed them in cold water to stop the cooking, and then I put them in the refrigerator to chill even further. So we'll start with the Greek yogurt, and then tahini. I love tahini, this sesame. And then we're also going to add the lemon juice, the ginger, the cayenne. Speaking of kick, this gives it a little heat. If, again, remember, don't like the heat, don't add the cayenne. It really won't affect the recipe that much. And then we have, of course, the curry, the salt and the pepper, and the lemon zest. Whisk this together. And if you make your own hummus at home, you'll notice that sometimes it gets a little thick. And what I do to loosen it up is you just add a little bit of water. So just a little bit at a time, add like a tablespoon of water. I am going to just use half of that, and we'll save the rest for later. And then I am going to add most of the cilantro. We should save some for garnish. And the celery. And the green onions. And last but not least, we'll add the peas. So make sure you mix this with a spatula, because you don't want to break up the potatoes. But you see, it's come together really nicely. I'm going to put this in the fridge, let it chill further, ideally overnight or at least 3 or 4 hours. So now we are ready for part 2. It is the curry marinade. I've made it with pork chops, delicious. And now on chicken, really works well with chicken. And what I did was I bought a couple chicken breasts, and then I, halved them and sliced them so they're chicken tenders, so they'll cook a lot quicker. For the marinade, you'll need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1/4 cup of warm water, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, 1 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/2 cup of chopped cilantro. Well, this is super easy. All we gotta do is assemble the ingredients. So we put in the olive oil, and then the mustard, And then the honey. Now, the reason I am adding a little bit of water to this in a bit is because the honey is, a little thick. We're going to do the garlic powder. Of course, the curry, the star, and the allspice, which a little exotic, kind of kicks it up. You could use cinnamon too if you want. And the salt and pepper. Now, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the cilantro to this, but I'm gonna save some for garnish too. All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of this warm water, just tap water. And we're gonna mix this marinade together. I am going to pour almost all of it. Leave about a quarter of it. Toss them around so they get nice and well coated. And then with that little bit that's left, I'm gonna brush it on while it's grilling to keep some more flavors. Well, I heated the grill pan on high. You can see it's smoking, and I oiled it with some coconut oil. I love coconut oil. So now we are going to take our chicken and just, oh, listen to that sizzle. I mean, really, this potato salad is so good. It is light, it is different, and it's just different than what you usually get potato salad in the summer. And I gotta tell you, this chicken, this marinade really is versatile. It's great on chicken thighs, excellent on pork, and it's so easy. So go to my website, caseylastmay.com, and get the recipe for the marinade and the potato salad. And I think that a fine wine for this is a rosé. Bright and fresh, and I'll tell you, a great value is the Kendall Jackson Vintners Reserve. Their rosé, it's beautiful salmon color. I mean, just perfect for summer. You are going to love this dish. Go to my website, get the recipes, and enjoy. Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
I am here with Rude the Dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. What is happening?
Nothing. We just finished off last year strong with all of our parties in the banquet room. So we're starting already to book parties this spring in the banquet room also. We got a couple things we're working on for outside in the parking lot, a couple different big events that we'd like to put on this year for everybody. So we're starting the year out strong and starting to get ready.
Oh, looking forward to spring. And don't forget, you're looking for those local beers, they are right here on tap at the Magic Tree. And I gotta tell you, this Nitro Brew coffee is made right here.
Yeah, we make this in-house with our roasted beans from the Youngstown Coffee Company. So we support local coffee, beer, and food.
Oh man, always something happening right here. Go to their website, magictreepubandeatery.com, and find out more.
Get ready for summertime adventures with a new car from Boardman Mitsubishi. Planning a road trip? You'll love the comfort and performance of the award-winning 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. Take a test drive and see for yourself. All new vehicles come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. For the hottest cars and exceptional service, look no further than Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown dealer since 1999.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
They fell in love with Benjamin Moore's Van Dusen Blue, but tried to match it using another brand's paint.
It'll grow on us, right?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting story with a lot of twists and turns. If you've driven down Southern Boulevard right near the corner of Palestine, you've noticed over the last few years a memorial that has taken shape. And Dan Stanton, he and his sons are the owners of Stanton Electric. You began this project right next to your headquarters, and it has evolved greatly over the years. When you first built the flagpole and that, what did you have in mind?
Well, I had this empty lot here.
Yeah.
And the police looked after us they would call me at night if the alarm went off, door was open. It was a little annoying, but helpful, okay?
Yes.
So I would come out here and I thought, well, that'd be a good place to put a flagpole, okay? And then when COVID hit, 3 years, whenever, 2020.
Yeah.
I said, boy, we should extend that to here to honor all the safety forces that dealt with COVID. I mean, every day there'd be an ambulance going by, a fire truck. My office was right there. I said, we need to honor these people.
I mean, this really has taken shape. I mean, it's a beautiful memorial.
Okay, if you want to take a walk up by the original intentions, we can do that.
Well, you talk about the expansion much beyond, military and law enforcement.
Right.
So then you added these granite panels. I mean, that is some, serious stonework.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when COVID hit, we had this built to honor everybody, okay? This is the military in the front here, honor law enforcement, fire in the back, and medical on the other side. And Joe Fusillo of Fusillo Tile and Granite,
yes.
When I told him about the project, he said, Dan, I'm into it. I just want to donate it. So I want to.
Beautiful. I mean.
What a great guy.
So the engraving and everything was,
well, I had the engraving done, but he bought the granite, installed it. And then I needed a name for this. I said, ask my daughter, Terry, what should we call this? In 10 seconds, she told me gratitude. And that's what that sign out front has inscripted on it in polished brass, gratitude. That's what.
This is what we're going to call this memorial, the Gratitude Memorial.
Well, to honor all these people that participate in safety and law and medical.
Terry, man, that was a brilliant idea.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that marketing, boy, she's got the brains for that, tell you. How has this been received? With all of the people that drive by. I mean, you're on a pretty busy thoroughfare.
Phone calls, your water's not running. I mean, that's something that sometimes shuts off because we have to fill the tanks up. So people have been calling the shop and they appreciate it.
They have to appreciate this. And I noticed that you also have sound and you play, the patriotic music.
Oh, yeah, right.
And Gary Ramey helped you out with that?
Gary helped with the sound, yes.
So what do you think you're going to do next?
Mostly touch up, not any more expansion, just what we have here. Keep it neat and clean and, have people enjoy it. They can stop at after, weekends, holidays, if they want to add a little solace to their grieving period or what, stop up here.
It's absolutely, it is very peaceful. It is really nice, a little oasis you know, in the middle of industrial
Right,
Boardman.
yeah,
Now, I
yeah.
know that you had a lot of family members that served in World War II and in Korea,
Yeah,
and you're
that's why
remembering
we
them
have this
also.
brick walkway now where you can honor them.
I love the way that you tied in, you know, the pandemic of 1918
Right.
to our 2020 pandemic, because I think a lot of people don't remember, you know, that this has happened before, where the whole world was affected by this. And I love, you know, you have a lot of family members on our current pandemic wall.
I got a couple there.
Yeah, I could see your niece or your granddaughter and everybody.
Grandson, the doctor.
Yeah. The next phase that Mr. Stanton has planned is an explanation, like where it'll almost be a time capsule.
Right.
So people, because in 20 years, they're probably not, you know, it'll just vanish from our memories.
Like you said, it's like an above the ground time capsule, because I want to put something in the center of that wall, whether it's plaque or granite, whatever, just describing what people went through during this pandemic. Right on that, so I'll need some help with that.
I will. Now I'll help you with that. I can do that.
Right.
I'll help you with that.
Okay,
We'll get the wording just right.
Just right, and I'll
exactly.
get it made, okay?
And I think it's a beautiful memorial. And I do think that in one word, you summed it up with grateful.
Yeah, right. Well, that was my daughter's word.
Well,
grateful.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, okay, good.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.